The Scottish referendum ignited a flame. It kindled desire in many lands for energised electorates and empowered peoples. Despite the fact that almost all national newspapers supported the pro-union campaign, the grassroots and social media nature of the independence campaign allowed its case to flourish beyond party politics, to become a project that has been dubbed imagining a new way to build society. Many who wanted union would have been torn apart if they had been rejected from the UK family. Yet they, like those who voted for independence, still burn for a society bound together by a sense of community, whose in-touch leaders ensure that all benefit from the Commonwealth. It was Scotland's Adam Smith who said that no society can flourish and be happy if too many of its people do not benefit from its wealth. Once I meditated on the hill overlooking Edinburgh's Parliament, known as Arthur's Seat. I sensed that God was wanting to release the potential for great leadership that lies untapped in so many people, and that the spirit that animated that great leader Arthur can animate us too. Arthur was thwarted by quarrelling Celtic kings, yet he was given a vision for a Britain where war and want ceased, where each person's word was their bond, and where all races lived under the same law of love and honour. After the referendum, I returned to the same spot. I was riveted by this thought. Suppose newly energised Scots can see Scotland not as a neglected one-third of the island of Britain, but as the head of this larger body, which it can help to move forward in an ever more fruitful process. Then great things can happen. The United Kingdom has survived, but it will wither unless it imagines a new way to build a country. To make this vision a reality, change is needed, first in our structures and second in our spirit. New constitutional structures are essential, as politicians have acknowledged. These cannot be fixed in the short-term interests of any one political party. They require a constitutional commission chosen from the best brains of all parties and regions, which listens to the people. I have two suggestions to make to such a commission. First, the Council of the Isles, which represents the parliaments or their equivalents of Belfast, Cardiff, Dublin, Edinburgh, Guernsey, Isle of Man, Jersey and Westminster. This should be given authority to put proposals to parliaments on all cross-border matters: environmental, security, disease, social and cultural initiatives, authority to gather evidence of projects and institutions that empower the have-nots, to introduce these in areas where they do not exist, to research, network, energise and promote needed substructures. Secondly, each devolved parliament in the United Kingdom should elect a proportion of its members and perhaps nominate others from professions, trade unions and faith communities, for example, to form a second house of a federal government, replacing institutions such as the House of Lords. This would have power to advise and make proposals to the federal government and to send ill-considered legislation back for a rethink, and perhaps to legislate on matters on which all devolved representatives are agreed. Ways must be found to keep the federal government in touch with all its peoples, perhaps meeting annually in each devolved parliament and with local residents. Such reforms are the bones. What about the spirit of the peoples, who can model a unity in diversity society of all for each and each for all? Faith communities, charities and community institutions need to step up to this challenge. Churches together in Britain and Ireland, whose office has become almost a shadow, can become a catalyst for numerous networks who seek to build God's kingdom across these lands. Individuals can take decisions that improve their homes and their neighbourhoods. This is an Over to You campaign. Although I have taken life vows in an international dispersed community, I speak today purely in a personal capacity. But I do speak from the holy island of Lindisfarne, linked to the mainland twice a day, where that great Irish Scot St. Aidan laid down his life to bring Christ's ways to the English, and through the Christian gospel forged a fellowship between these two peoples and the Picts and the Welsh, all previously warring. And I trust I speak in the name of the one who is the ground of our being and the source of our rekindled energies.